This is low. It's low. We let you in. We tried to take care of you, and you're sitting here and just attacking us for 3 hours, bro.
The world is asking these questions, and the viewers will be asking these questions.
It's a consistent leading question, a consistent narrative. Where's the question about the good he's doing for men? Well, there's a very clear narrative. I need to leave. Okay.
So Vice did an interview with Andrew Tate, where it was basically set up to question him about his supposed crime. It's riddled with bias and aggressive questions that make him out to be a criminal. And it's completely and utterly biased from the get-go. Part of being an impartial channel is that we have to be prepared to defend both sides. What? And this time we're going to be defending Andrew Tate from Vice's unfair and biased questioning. Now, I am not an Andrew Tate fan, but I do respect his work in terms of his numerous successful businesses and work ethic. It's just his sociological views I can't agree with. Anyway, with that being said, let's take a look.
Okay, as I've read more and understand more about Andrew Tate, I think he's just a loser. I think he's just a loser. I don't even know if I respect him on the business side of things. So it seems like he traffics a bunch of women, and then he scams the fuck out of all the guys. I started listening to more and more of like his business model and stuff off stream. The goal was to scam the fuck out of a lot of the guys. His whole business of like how he ran things was a giant scam. That's all it was. He had guys doing the messages. He was tricking like lonely fucking virgins in Europe that they were gonna fly girls out to scam money off of them and everything. He was a great kickboxer. Was he actually? I feel like one time in the past, I feel like I said like, oh well, I'll give him credit at least for kickboxing, and then somebody said no, he did like 3 matches and he lost 2 of them or something. Is that true? I don't know. Maybe you can give him credit for kickboxing if he was good at that. Okay, so I guess he gets credit for kickboxing, but like in terms of how he made his money, his whole business and everything was just like a scam. He's just like a fucking scammer. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the amount of respect that I have for this guy just like goes really, 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 really low. Like the more that I learn about them, he won the equivalent of a couple of ESL weeklies and called himself a world champ. He inherited a fortune from his father. His record is high. I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to put together like an Andrew Tate thing because I'm curious because I feel like there's so much weird shit around this guy. I don't know if I've seen it all in one place. His kickboxing record was 76 wins, 9 losses. Don't listen to people in chat. His record is highly disputed. He fought random ass dudes with no records. Oh damn, we're all over the place here. Okay, anyway, we'll listen to this guy slob on his knob a little bit.
With Andrew's team increasingly conscious of negative publicity, tonight could be the last chance to interview him. Do you consider the possibility that some of the things that you've said, which have been viewed 11 billion times, may lead to an attitude towards women that could be harmful?
I accept that across all of that viewership, I have perhaps, possibly, maybe said one thing, or maybe 2, that has upset a large range of people.
Wouldn't it make sense to just apologize for some of the things you've said, acknowledge that they have caused harm, and say that you won't say those things again?
No, and I'll tell you why.
So there is nothing wrong with this question here. It's basic journalism to confront people with tough questions that the public are very well arguing. Andrew Tate downplays the allegations made against him, saying that he may have said 1 or 2 things in the past. He knows this isn't true. I consider him a marketing expert, and he definitely deliberately says these incredibly bold and sometimes sexist statements to generate press, and it absolutely works. People like Jeremy Clarkson have been doing it for years, and it has helped make them a household name. A lot of people idolize him, not because he's sexist and because of his views, but they idolize him because in this age of cancel culture, he speaks his mind. I respect that about him despite not agreeing with most of what he says.
I'm not going to apologize for the edits of other people. I'm not going to apologize for the misunderstandings of other people. There's a whole bunch of clips people are making which make me look very bad. That's not good for my life. That's not good for business.
The clips that portray you in a negative light also help the algorithm to make you become more famous and more viral.
I'm not an expert on algorithms for social media platforms. I do not have most of them installed on my phone. I cannot control what a 15-year-old Singaporean decides to do when he chops me up and calls me names. I can't control that, and I wouldn't try to.
When you search for your name in Google, one of the associated terms is human trafficking.
I was not formally charged. I have no criminal record.
Oof.
I've never
Well.
human trafficked anyone in my life.
Why then have the Romanian police said the investigation is ongoing?
So he does a very clear distancing behavior when confronted about deliberately saying these outrageous statements because it generates clicks and publicity. People typically distance themselves from people that cause them stress, and Andrew Tate noticeably does this right after the guy asks this question. Andrew Tate is clever. He knows marketing. Heck, his whole Hustlers University was a marketing ploy to make thousands of people re-upload his content. This is his exact area of expertise, and he knows it, which is why he looks away when he lies. Now, this is where we see Vice turn from good journalists into manipulative and biased journalists. They use the fact that people have searched for Andrew Tate trafficking as an excuse to steer that conversation into heavily trying to imply that he's guilty despite these charges being dropped in the past. Vice then asks an utterly manipulative and biased question.
Jesus.
Andrew Tate has just said that he's not guilty and has no criminal record, and Vice, being the incredibly bad journalists they are, then attack his
guy's so
innocence by
mad.
asking why he's being investigated. By phrasing this as a question, they are pretending to act impartial despite it being loaded with bias. They may as well have just said Andrew Tate must be guilty because the Romanian authorities are investigating him. That's what I have a problem with. They are assuming that he's guilty before a trial has even been concluded. For a mainstream news agency to violate innocent until proven guilty personally scares me, because if they can do it to him, they can certainly do it to you. This bad journalism also drives people to support Andrew Tate.
I'm not sure where you got that information from. I'm not sure who said it. Is there some kind of procedure that must be completed? I don't know.
There has been a lot of bad press about you. That's made some nervousness within members of the war, and why is that?
Well, obviously, when people are going to continue to lie and continue to do very, very shallow, very, very fictitious investigations, people are going to lose faith in you. The media has lost all credibility because you do not try and portray the truth anymore.
One thing that stands in the way of truth, for example, is when we often do documentaries, we have...
You know what I do respect Andrew Tate for? And I'm thinking back to that like big apology video he did when he got initially banned from social media. I do think that Andrew Tate is a good con man. And I respect that hustle. And I think that's about the extent to what he's capable of and what he can deliver on, is he's a very good con man.
full access to speak to anyone we want. But in this documentary, we've been very closely watched by the sartorial shooter, Alpha Wolf, picking who we can speak to, you know, monitoring the interview. What is it that you're worried that we're going to find out?
These questions are so low.
This is low. It's low. We let you in. We tried to take care of you, and you're sitting here and just attacking us for 3 hours, bro.
The world is asking these questions, and the viewers will be asking these questions.
It's the consistent leading questions, the consistent narrative. Where's the question about the good he's doing for men? Well, there's a very clear narrative. I need to leave. Okay.
Vice then again uses a false question, which is basically a statement, to try and manipulate the viewers. What is it you're worried we're going to find out is basically the equivalent of them saying Andrew Tate is hiding something because he won't give us access to everyone in his organization. This is again incredibly biased and unprofessional journalism that has one aim: to manipulate and push a narrative on viewers. I do not like Andrew Tate. I believe he teaches a lot of deeply disturbing ideas about women that have very real implications, but he has done good as well. These questions are so biased, and if they can do it to him, they can do it to you too.
One
of my all-time favorite quotes is, quote, "I disagree with what you have to say, but I will defend to
your
the
right
death
to say it.
your right to say it."
Thanks, buddy.
Unquote. I am a firm believer in free speech, and these clever, manipulative questions to tell viewers that Andrew Tate is a criminal are incredibly disturbing and morally wrong. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Seems a possible relationship between LS and Tate. Yeah, but I don't think there was any like source on any of that. I've seen like a lot of random shit posted about the problem with the Andrew Tate stuff. The reason why I'd want to do like a manifesto thing is that like I feel like I just can't trust anything about him. I have to research everything, because anytime I see somebody to the left post something about him, it'll be like the most insanely like hyperinflated bullshit ever. And then anytime I see somebody to the right say anything about him, they're like just, you know, dick riding, they're glazing, they're slurping. And it's like, okay, well, so yeah, I don't know. It's very frustrating to try to like research anything about this guy at all, because everybody. Michaela Peterson launched the Lion's Lair after meeting with Tate about 3 years ago. It was a $600 club, and the website was wild. I believe she was coached by Tate. Am I finally supposed to be having my talk with her? I'm supposed to be talking with Chud soon, too. Michaela Peterson. I think is on the 17th, if it doesn't get rescheduled again. Hello. What do you want? You were the one in here that had us dive down that whole rabbit hole of fucking weird. Were you the one that had us watch the "But Go Off Sis" videos, or was it the other thing?
No. The Go Off Sis videos are the other things.
Gotcha.
I was the weird goth thing.
Yeah, fuck. I'm trying to remember which one was the goth one. Was that
Yeah,
just like
me.
No, but I'm trying to remember who the content creator was we watched. Was that just a big nothing burger where nothing happened for the entire thing?
No, it was the Toxic Tears one you watched. Where she talked about the whole sex stuff and things.
Okay, it was dumb. I remember being dumb. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
But okay, what's up?
You know my question, and I would like to talk about it a little bit more if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so the question was if you hear your thoughts and do you hear your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. Like an internal dialogue, kind of, right?
Yes, but also like not just the dialogue, but bits and pieces. Like, for example, leave sentences. I don't know if that's how it's called in English, but
What's it?
Or
How do
not.
you phrase it?
belief sentences, like sentences that are not really true, but are deep in your experiences. Like, I hate all people.
Like, do I
And-
hear the sentence or feel the feeling?
Yes. No, hear the sentence.
Yeah, I would hear that sentence. Yeah, if I'm thinking like I fucking hate this motherfucker, I think I would hear that sentence. Yeah, I would hear I fucking
Okay.
hate this motherfucker.
And are these thoughts, are they in your own voice?
Yeah, always. Yeah. Damn,
Okay,
could
you
you have
don't
another
have-
voice? That'd be kind of cool. You'd have like a Siri up there. No, they're usually my own voice. Yeah.
So, because I found out that that is not for everyone the same. Like, some people are not hearing anything. Like, they just think.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hear their own voice.
Yeah, I've heard this before. Yeah.
And I was like a little bit shocked because I thought like everybody hears their own thoughts. And I found out that it is not normal that you don't only hear your own voice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. I don't know what the stats are on it, but like some people don't hear their own voice, some people don't have an internal dialogue at all. It just depends on the person. Yeah.
Because for example, I have like some people in my life that are some sentences that are like indoctrinated into me, and I hear them say that sentence,
Okay.
for example.
Sure, I could see that being possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just curious. And do you have that sometimes when you think a thought and you have to wait for your own voice to end the thought, but you already thought it to the end?
Kind of. The closest thing I can think of this is if I'm trying to read material very quickly, I have to shut off the internal voice. Like if I'm trying to
Yeah.
read, but I'm like enunciating the words in my head as I'm reading, that'll slow down my ability to read sometimes. But
How do you shut it off?
the way that I usually do it is by forcing my eyes to move faster on the page than what I'm willing, than what feels comfortable, and then usually it'll kind of go away. But I only learned to do this like after I got out of school, so I don't know what my comprehension would be like. It's possible that I can do that, but then my comprehension is like really shit afterwards, so I'm not entirely sure. Like I wouldn't recommend this for speed reading or something. I don't know if, yeah.
I'm already shit at reading, so I can't read really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if like if you're having trouble with reading, I don't know if that's gonna like you might lack a ton of comprehension. You might not remember anything if you do that.
No, I have to like read some things. I have to read like 2 times and 3 times, at least for the last 2 years or so, because of antidepressants stuff that messes with the head. But before that, it was not a problem. I could read a book like 400 pages in 2 days.
Gotcha.
It was not like a bad thing. Yeah. No, shutting off the internal voices. I can never do that. It's like when I want to sleep, I like hear some documentary on like Blast.
When you sleep, you hear like you're playing one, or like you just hear one going off in your
Yeah.
head.
No, I can also. Yeah, that's something I do from childhood on, that I like fantasy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I started with some series I loved where I just be a character in it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's all about own worlds and own fantasy stuff
Huh. Okay.
to sleep. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's not a problem for me.
Okay. Well, anything else?
Manipulation. I was a little bit on the screen when you two talked about manipulation, because I talked with my roommate about it the last few days, and it's such a broad term because manipulation can be everything. Like, even when I say something like I'm sad, it's manipulating someone.
Yeah, I have a lot of trouble actually conceptualizing that, because like if I'm saying something, it's usually because I want somebody to feel a certain way about something. But I might overthink those types of interactions. I'm mega autistic, but it's very hard for me to figure out. Like there are like I can have a thought and I can express that thought in different ways, and I can get like a lot of different reactions from a person based on how I express that thought. And sometimes I wonder like if some ways are really manipulative or not, and I have a really hard time figuring out those types of things. This is very difficult for me.
Yeah, me it's oftentimes because I'm so emotional, and I hate crying in front of other people because I feel like I manipulate other people's to feel sad for me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so manipulating is a hard topic for me too. To find it, basically, when someone talks to me, and I want to like know if they are now manipulating me, like if they want something out of me, like not just in a normal conversation, but they want to bring me to do something. So I have really problems to get behind that.
Sure. Okay. Well. Anything else?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks a lot. Have fun. Be careful. Stay safe.
You too.
Bye.
Wait. Oh, shoot. I wanted to talk to that person about something.
Why? What's up?
All right. What do you think, when you think internally, do you feel like the voice internal dialogue is talking to you in the first or third person?
First person always.
Okay.
Like I would think in my head, like, what should I do now? Not like, what should you do? I'm always thinking first person. Why do you think
but,
second
like,
person?
All right. I should re-explain. Do you feel like when you're controlling your internal dialogue that you're talking to something else inside your head, or do you think that you're just
No, I'm just It's just to me, yeah, and myself.
That's interesting, because my internal dialogue, I have to force the internal dialogue, and then some other part of my mind is taking over at that point.
Are you like do you have like another person in there you can talk to?
No, it's not like a person I talk to. It's like there's the I don't know. It's really hard to explain, which is why I wanted to talk to the other person about it.
Here, I mean, you can knock yourself out, I guess.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, so I got a question about your internal dialogue.
Yeah.
When you use the internal dialogue, do you feel like you're trying to input something into some other function inside of your head, or do you think that is the only you?
I talked about that with my therapist a lot, because it's like, it depends if it's my voice or not. So if it's someone else, I feel like I can't control that thought. But when it's my voice, it's my thing. Does that make sense?
I don't know, because this is so hard to conceptualize that maybe it
Yeah.
makes sense and maybe it doesn't.
You should try asking a
Wait.
5-year-old dog. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
the way my process works is that there's the non-communicative me that does all the thinking and like all the processing, and then there's the conscious me that's like giving all the information to that thing to do its thinking.
Okay,
When
yeah.
you say, yeah, when you say you're oh shoot, sorry, say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, when you feel like you're fighting against yourself.
Kind of, yeah, like when you're
I
but like
can
it's
tell
not
you a little
really.
bit about that. Like, it's basically, okay, fuck it. I have borderline personality disorder,
Based.
and and for me, it's very hard to have a concept of self, like to have my own personality. So I had to like puzzle it together on my own. And oftentimes, when you have that kind of personality disorder, you feel like you're not yourself, like there's something else, but obviously it's a part of you. So you have to kind of fight against yourself to get around in normal society. And that's basically happening in my head.
Do you feel like you have control of? So you're saying you don't have control of both of those things?
Of what both things?
Like both of those processes in your brain, do you feel like you have full control over both of them, or do you
I
feel
have
like
to focus. I have to focus. Like I learned back then to focus on my thoughts, to really listen to the thoughts and to control the thoughts. Because when I let them roam on their own, my stress level gets so high that my emotions run wild. So basically, I have to control my thoughts to control my emotions.
that's
every day.
interesting? Yeah,
So
I think I process in a somewhat similar way to you. I just don't. I just feel like I have control over the entirety of the process.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay.
It's there is a part of the disorder that is an impulsivity control, like having a lack of impulsivity control, and to control that, that's basically near controlling thoughts and emotions. For me, at least, it is. So
Got
it's
it.
hard, but it's okay. It's getting easier every day. Like you have, I started the therapy when I was 18. Now I'm 30.
Sorry.
This year. And yeah, so basically doing this every day, it gets easier. You have
Okay.
to do it every day.
All right, cool. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. I was just interested on what you thought about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Anything
Right.
else?
You ever thought about just
should I
not being
leave?
borderline?
I wish. Yeah,
What,
Maybe
sometimes I wish.
maybe I have pre, like you know how you can be pre-diabetic. Maybe I'm pre-borderline.
Wait, can you be pre-borderline?
Oh, that's what I'm
Borderline,
saying.
the diagnosis you get from, like, there are 9 symptoms, and you have to have 5 to get the diagnosis.
Gotcha. I think borderline is pretty unique too, like from all the other kind of like personality disorders as well, right? Like I think borderline is still considered, well, it's BPD, borderline personality disorder, but I think that like the treatment and the approach to that is a lot different then, because I think for most personality disorders, I think the understanding is that just like it's a personality disorder and there's not much you can do for it, right? But with borderline, they're thinking about like reclassifying it as like mental illness or something. Am I making all of this up, or?
I don't know if they are reclassifying it. I hope not, because that would make me really mad.
Okay.
Because it's nothing you can fix,
Yeah.
basically. You will have always these thoughts and this problem. You can make it easier, but that doesn't make it go away.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
will basically always have the problem that I will have setbacks. There is no guarantee when you're at a certain level of therapy that you're going to be okay, like, for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. That is true though. That's all the personality disorders, right? Like like if you're NPD or if you're OCPD or any of those, I think that those are all considered like lifelong. Like it's just part of your personality, and you can just kind of like manage parts of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I have my emotions are this big, and I can't always control them, obviously, but getting them out in a healthy way, basically, is the concept of the whole
gotcha.
thing.
Okay. Well, anything else, you guys?
I'm good.
I'm open. I'm talking if you want to ask anything.
Okay.
I'm all good here. Thank
Gotcha.
you.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Have
Okay.
fun. Be careful, duders.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Criminal lawyer breaks down bullshit.